we're the only people that have come to America involuntarily. We didn't come here with our language intact. We didn't come here with our beliefs, our religious or spiritual beliefs intact. Those all things were stripped from us.
Our names,
and we, in all of our culture, everything, our resources. We didn't come here with the things that other people. So when we hear folk talk about, hey, slavery is over. Why y'all still complaining about that? Or, our people came here and they worked their asses off. And that's true. Immigrants came from Europe and Asia, all over the world. And yes, they did, lace up their bootstraps, and they did what they had to do. But they came with all things intact. They came voluntarily. They didn't come on. So, and those who did come came with resources that were set up by people who were in servitude.
Absolutely.
That's just facts.
Right.
So we already have the disadvantage, and we don't have that legacy, as we talk about legacy, as other people, because our legacy was the slavery that we had to,
Endure.
endure and pass on. And so all of that stuff matters. And so when we talk about Bronzeville and places like, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and all these other great places like Harlem, we then found our own thing. It's important. And now you look around, how many black businesses that are owned by us, operated by us, right? And how many hospitals that are owned by black folks and operated by us? How many banks? How much infrastructure? Media is a big thing, right? Media, how many of us own media companies?
And we make it go, but we don't own any of it.
I knew I wouldn't be able to actually fit in all that I had to say in one broadcast. So I just wanted to say I've been scrolling through Instagram and Facebook, and the feedback I'm hearing from the community, the community here in the city of Toronto, their feedback towards the renaming of Dundas Square to the Sankofa Square. First of all, it wasn't a momentum or anything that I felt was deemed necessary to share, because as far as I'm concerned, giving a square an African name definitely does not provide any peace of mind or consolation, and it's nowhere even near to the reparation that descendants of Africans living here in Canada, for all the struggles and generational trauma that we've lived through in Canada. So I wouldn't celebrate that moment. But what I will say is a lot of non-black Torontonians were saying, "What Sankofa Square? Go back to Ghana. What if you and this and that?" The thing that I find unfair about that is that not a lot of people are aware that they built a humongous Hindu statue in Brampton, and they don't have a problem with it. Now, I know that the population of Ontario is not predominantly Hindu. They don't have a problem with the building of a statue that is, how should I say it, sacred to the Southern Asian community, but they have a problem with renaming the Dundas Square Sankofa Square. Do you not see that there's so many imbalances? And when we're asked the question, why do you guys talk about racism and anti-black hate? Reason being is that it's never ever gone away. Yes, the chains around our ankles and wrists may have been cut, and what have you. It doesn't mean that the other components of anti black hate were eradicated. That's yet to be achieved, you know? Now, I know realistically None of us can change the heart or the thoughts or the belief of another man. But I do believe, as what Martin Luther King says, he said that the law cannot stop a man from hating me. However, the law can restrain the heartless and stop a man from lynching me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just wondering, like, we have served North America since the 1700s, when the chains and shackles went click click on the first African that they held in captivity to bring them here to pretend that they are not human beings. You know what I'm saying? We've endured so much. And it wasn't until more recently in the new millennium where the ethnic group that uh, holds that Hindu statue in Brampton sacred began to immigrate to Canada. Now, we have served Canada through Carabana, we have served Canada through Black talent that made it global and gave Canada a name in the hip hop industry, in the reggae industry, in the R&B industry. That was us contributing and giving away our culture and our talents, yet still we're ignored and very little regarded as human beings. So, for the Torontonians to direct us back to Africa, you need to remember and recognize we didn't ask to be taken from the shores of Africa. Your ancestors did. And if one little place has an African name, I don't see what the problem is, because I saw many non African individuals twerking on the stage at Afrofest. But then once something is named after a black entity or a black nation, your true colors come out. So when you come up on the stage at Afrofest dancing and being cheered on by African Ghanaians, and yet you protest and have such ugly racist things to say about the fact that Young and Dundas is now known as Sankofa Square. It makes me wonder, is anyone sincere walking on this earth? You done know. Have a wonderful day.